My father's will said I abandoned my family 6 years ago and forfeited my inheritance. I never abandoned anyone. I called him every single Sunday, until the day he died. When my brother read that clause aloud at the funeral, smiling faintly, I realized someone had spent 6 years destroying my relationship with my own father, using my name, my voice, and apparently my entire identity. You stopped calling in 2020, my brother Derek said flatly, showing me printed phone logs as if I were a stranger who needed convincing. I stared at the records, dates and times I supposedly called, conversations I supposedly had. None of it happened. I hadn't spoken to my father through that number in years, because he'd texted me once, saying he'd gotten a new phone. I never questioned it. That night, I drove to my father's house and searched his old phone, still charging in a kitchen drawer untouched since his death. The call log matched Derek's printed records exactly. Hundreds of calls labeled with my name, spanning 6 years. But I recognized the voice memos attached to several calls. It wasn't my voice. It was close, unsettlingly close, but the cadence was wrong. I played memo after memo, hands trembling, until I found one where the caller slipped briefly into their real speech pattern before catching themselves. It was Derek's wife, Michelle. She'd been recording herself for years, using apps to alter her pitch, calling my father pretending to be me, slowly poisoning every conversation with fabricated arguments I'd supposedly had with him. I remembered now, small strange moments I'd dismissed. My father mentioning fights we never had, him sounding hurt on birthdays I definitely called. I'd assumed his memory was slipping with age. It wasn't slipping. It was being carefully rewritten, phone call by phone call, until he genuinely believed his own daughter had abandoned him for reasons that existed only inside Michelle's fabricated calls. Why would Michelle do this? I found the answer in my father's financial documents, dated 18 months before he died. He'd changed his will twice, both times after conversations with me that never occurred, each revision moving more of the estate toward Derek and Michelle. She hadn't just stolen my relationship with my father, she'd systematically engineered my disinheritance, call by fabricated call. I confronted Derek with the voice memos, watching his confident expression crumble in real time. She told me you'd finally cut ties, he stammered. I never questioned it, you two never got along anyway. That last part stung worst of all. Michelle hadn't invented conflict from nothing. She'd built her lies on top of small real tensions, making the fabrication feel plausible to everyone but me. Derek called Michelle that night, phone on speaker, voice shaking with a fury I'd never seen from him. She didn't deny it once she realized we had the recordings. Your father was going to leave everything to charity anyway, she said coldly, as if that justified 6 years of impersonation. I just made sure it stayed in the family. Derek's family, not mine, apparently, in her calculations. I hired a forensic audio analyst who confirmed everything within days, voice pattern matching, digital manipulation software traces, timestamps proving calls originated from Michelle's number, rerouted to appear as mine. It was enough for a probate fraud case. Enough, finally, for a court to understand my father hadn't chosen to cut me out. He'd been deceived into believing I'd already left him first. The case took 9 months. Michelle avoided prison through a plea deal, ordered instead to repay the diverted inheritance with interest. Derek filed for divorce before the ink dried on the settlement, unable to look at her without seeing every fabricated phone call replaying in his memory. I don't know if I'll ever fully forgive him for believing it so easily, but I understand why he did. I visit my father's grave every Sunday now, the same day I used to call him, except now there's no lie standing between us anymore. The inheritance mattered less than the 6 years someone stole from a dying man's memory of his own daughter. Some betrayals aren't about money at all. They're about rewriting who loved you before you're gone to correct it. Who do you think deserved less mercy, Derek or Michelle? Comment below, and subscribe for more true family betrayal stories.